Today is a prime example of why it is important to learn how to fish. They say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but if you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Warren Buffett, one of the best investors of all time, he made 2 sell orders on Apple stock. The first one was Q2 2025, and he sold it for $200 a share. The second one was Q3 2025, and he sold that for $225 a share. Family, Apple just hit an all-time high today of $283. Warren Buffett sold out of it too early, but remember, he has $100 billion. He's one of the best investors of all time. But notice, his exit was not my exit. And his exit may not have been your exit because we saw opportunities in it for us that may not have been right for him. Because we've learned how to fish and not just follow somebody else in terms of trying to see exactly what they do. Sometimes you got to learn the game. And that's why I bring you this information so you can see what I'm looking forward to. And that's why I was able to make over $165,000 on Apple stock, having 1,200 shares at this very point and making 5,000 of that in just this one day. I show y'all this to show you the power of understanding what you're looking at. And I want to also give you a Cyber Monday deal that's ending today. And just for one-time fee of $197, you're going to get to unlock so many different things, family. I want to just read them to you right here. You're going to get my new stock options course. You're going to get my new stock market course for absolute beginners and my new chart course. These are going to help you to learn all three and become a beast in all three of them. Plus, you're going to get the special one-time Wednesday live stream on December 3rd, the special one-time Monday live stream on December 8th, and the Black Friday Masterclass recording all in one for a one-time payment. Family, I want to load you up for this Cyber Monday so you can actually learn how to fish and really get busy on this market. But speaking of learning how to fish, the link for that is going to be in the very top of the description. I look forward to seeing you on those live streams, so make sure you tap in because it's right around the corner. And the rest of everything that I offered in there is going to be yours forever. The link is in the top of the description. Pause the video, go lock that in, and then come back and put a heart in the chat. And the first banger on the list that we got to talk about, because I want to teach you how to fish and show you how I'm thinking about these things. The first one is SoFi. Notice that I have a red line on my chart under here. Somebody had said to me the other day, Keenan, I seen you using Robinhood. I thought you liked Moomoo. I do like Robinhood, and I do like Moomoo. I use these apps for what they're good for. If you want to download Moomoo, the link is in the top of the description. I'm showing you this because they have tools that help me to see things quick, fast, and in a hurry. Robinhood is a simplicity kind of app. I like that. Moomoo is an app where I get all of the info, and then I can show you on Robinhood or show you on Moomoo as to what we're thinking about, and we use the tools that are necessary for the job. So here's one of the tools that I like to open up my app, and I see that SoFi is $29 right now. However, this red line, that 200 exponential moving average, is showing me that that number would be 21. I want to buy SoFi stock under that level, meaning I want to buy it under 21. I'm okay with buying it now, but I would love to buy it under the 21 level because me personally, like I told you, I like to teach you how to fish. When I'm looking at good companies that are profitable, if I could get them under the 200 EMA, then that's where I want to load up. This is a strategy that's helped me to make a lot of money in Apple, like I just showed you, and a lot of money in many other stocks that I'm going to talk about as well. Now, let's get to some of the numbers because I want to, again, teach you how to think about these things in the same way that I think about them that helps me to make this money. I will say, talk to a licensed financial advisor in your area because investing does carry risk. But I often say you got to risk it to get the biscuit, or else you're going to watch everybody else get rich because you're so scared. And scared money don't make no money, family. SoFi is a $35 billion company. That's what that market cap means. If you look at it, it says 35.16B. That means you add all the shares up together. That's what the price is. So when I look at SoFi, I think, okay, a $35 billion company, how much money are they making? So in the stock market, you look at a quarter, aka 1, 2, and 3 months of the year. And then you see all the way up here in blue, the highest blue line above this orange line, it says they made $949 million in a quarter, meaning they almost made $1 billion. This $35 billion company almost made $1 billion in a quarter. So, okay, why am I saying that? Now we got a baseline. Let's think about another stock. And this is sort of an apples to oranges comparison, but I know that in advance. But I want to show you something. Palantir is a $399 billion company, more than 10 times bigger than SoFi. So we would hope that their earnings was 10 times more than SoFi. But when we look at what Palantir earns, it's just about $1 billion as well. Look at this orange line and look at this blue line. They expected to make $1 billion, and then they made the blue line on top of it, which was 1.1 billion. That's very, very close for the company to be 10 times bigger than SoFi, for them to be making the same amount of revenue, bringing money in. But then you ask yourself, why is that? Why is one company 10 times bigger, but the revenue wasn't 10 times bigger yet? Now, I told you, in this video, you're gonna learn more about how to fish. I told you about looking for the 200 EMA. I like to buy stocks under that. I told you to think about what apps you're using for simplicity and what apps you're using for information. I taught you that. Now this one, when you look at Palantir and SoFi, you gotta notice that they're not the same type of company. One of them is a bank stock, but it's a fintech stock, a financial tech stock. And one of them, Palantir, is an artificial intelligence stock. So people see more opportunity in the artificial intelligence space than they see in the bank space. So what they're doing is they're paying Palantir up for that potential and for that opportunity. They're willing to pay significantly more because they know that artificial intelligence related companies can make 10 times more in a single year, but banks don't often do that. So a lot of people are invested in the Palantir and pushing it up like this because they're looking for potential. You got to think, what kind of investor are you? Are you one that's only invested in potential, like Palantir, or something that's invested into something that's already happening, like for SoFi? I always like to bring that to your attention so you can understand how things are moving and actually learn how to fish. That's going to be super important. Now I want to get to some of the things on SoFi. Like I told you, some of it is already happening. SoFi, they just beat their earnings estimates. They made 70% more than Wall Street thought they were going to get. And then the revenue, they made 29% more than Wall Street thought they were going to get. So we see the company growing into itself, and we like that. However, still, we want to get it at a good price. Now, one of the reasons I'm looking at SoFi is look at the top line where it says lending, and they made over $493 million with that, and that's 51% of all of their income, because we know that the interest rates on things are going to drop down, and this could very well attract new customers to SoFi and actually bank with them and get loans from them. Loans could be mortgages, credit cards, car loans, all types of different things, and we want to see how that works out as interest rates come down. Are they bringing in more customers? Now I got some more bangers for you. The next one is Lyft. Remember how I told you where I'm looking for these stocks at? Preferably, you don't always get it down there, but I know I like it down there, and it's under the red line on my Moon app, which is the 200 EMA. And on SoFi, stock being $21, the 200 EMA is under the $17 range. So sometimes you can get it around there or under there. That's what I like to do, especially for the long term. Now, class is in session, so get your notebook out. There's a company valuation metric called PS, aka price to sales. Meaning, what is the price of the stock compared to the sale of the company? And when you look at it, it used to be super high, but look at this graph, how it got really, really low. You want this to be low rather than being high, because it's looking like they're bringing in a lot of money for the size of the company that they are. And since this is down near historic lows, we prefer it down there. So we start to like Lyft where it is, because Lyft has potential that some other companies might not necessarily have in this moment. We look at this right here. It says, where's their revenue coming from? A single segment, $1.69 billion coming from the ride sharing services. Notice there's no, that I know of yet, there's no Lyft Eats, like Uber Eats. There's no other delivery service other than the ride service. So they have so much space to expand that they have not expanded into yet. And we want to see how they go about doing that. We look at their cash flow. The cash flow is up 10% from the last quarter, and it's just been growing and growing and growing. That's what we like to see. Another one I want to put on your radar right now is Taiwan Semi. I like this one under that 200 EMA, which is under 241. However, this is a $287 stock right now that I would still buy right now and hold on for the long term, because we see how the world is transitioning into the artificial intelligence. Well, Taiwan Semi got them in a chokehold, family, because this is where they're getting all of the semiconductors or little metal pieces to make these computer chips. So pay attention to that. Wall Street thinks the fair value of this one is 310. So currently we're undervalued, and then they got the price targets all the way up to like 340. So this is an absolute banger. And then this information, I want somebody to go and fact check this, because I fact checked it in 3 spots and it's looking like it's true. Taiwan Semi has a revenue amount in the last quarter of over $900 billion, and they expect for Q4 to be $1 trillion in revenue. I've never heard of anything that high. That's crazy to me. So I go to Moomoo, I look at it, I see that number. I go to Google Finance and I'm looking at it, and it's the same. I'm seeing this 900 billion in revenue for the last quarter. That's crazy. And then I go to Guru Focus and I'm seeing that even back in June 2025, Taiwan Semi, their revenue rockets to 1 trillion. So this is crazy. This means they bringing in money hand over fist. Now, that's not the earnings. Bringing in money is different from money you get to keep, but they bringing in money so crazy that they can make a lot happen with that. So I'm a triple, quadruple check and make sure that all 3 of these websites are not tripping. But just to see that that's what's going on, and that could even be a rumor, family, that's something to pay attention to. That's insane. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Get that Cyber Monday deal. The link is in the top of the description, family. Make sure that you load up on that because this is the best value around. I wanted to load y'all up with something and just make sure that y'all got the game so you can learn how to fish, family. I'll see y'all in the next one, and take care.